Hello everyone, it's Venomorph and welcome back to a brand new episode discussing Springtrap in Dead by Daylight. I hope you guys really enjoyed the new intro. There's a new outro as well, just to celebrate the new goal. I was originally going to try and have it to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, but we already hit 2,000 before I could make the new intro. So thank you all immensely for the support. It is insane how much you guys have supported my channel and me and just everything. It is really cool. So I just want to thank you guys for everything. Today we're going to be talking about his weapon, what Springtrap would use in Dead by Daylight to knock down the survivor. We're going to be talking about his ability a little bit differently. Thanks to your guys' comments, I have come up with a bit of a different idea as to what Springtrap's ability could be. And then the main thing I want to talk about is Springtrap, like who he is. A lot of you guys were extremely confused in the comments. Some of you were agreeing with me that it was William Afton. Some of you said it was Michael, and others said that Springtrap is not even part of the Afton family. So I want to get that out of the way right now. Springtrap is William Afton and the purple guy. Springtrap, purple guy, William Afton, they're the same guy. And someone had mentioned in the comments that William Afton is actually Scraptrap. Scraptrap and Springtrap are still the same thing. If you understand his quote, both from Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator and Ultimate Custom Night, he says, "You may not recognize me at first, but I assure you it's still me." He's Springtrap. It's still Springtrap. It doesn't matter how he looks. He has definitely changed looks over the games, but he is still Springtrap, and he is still credited in the credits of Ultimate Custom Night and Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator as William Afton. And we all know William Afton is the purple guy, and we all know the purple guy gets trapped in Springtrap. So I don't want any more arguments about that. You can disagree with me if you want, but I don't want people saying that I'm completely wrong in saying that, because I'm not. That is how the lore worked. That is what that's how it works. That's what Cawthon intended everything to be, so that's how it's going to be. Michael Afton is the one who gets scooped by Ennard, who gets bitten in the bite of 83, which I don't know if that's confirmed or not. I don't know if that's Michael, but if it is, then that'd be pretty cool that he survived not one but two incidents with these animatronics. And he is also the main protagonist in almost all the games, not including Help Wanted, FNAF AR, and the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is his weapon. What would Springtrap use to knock down the survivor? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. It's going to be a knife. A lot of you are saying a fire axe, and while it may seem like a good idea, at the same time, the only thing that's associating Springtrap with a fire axe is the Die in a Fire Living Tombstone music video where he's taking apart the animatronics with an axe. Now, I appreciate your guys' love for those songs and everything, and I think those songs are amazing. At the same time, though, don't take the music videos too seriously. A lot of people took the second one too seriously and assumed that the mother of Golden Freddy wound up being the puppet, and obviously the lore confirmed that was not the case. So it needs to be understood right here and right now that that the fire axe was just something that the music video had come up with in order to allow Springtrap to be able to properly take apart the animatronics. Now, he could have used anything. In fact, he's built animatronics before. In fact, more advanced ones if we're talking about the sister location animatronics. So it's not too far-fetched to say that the slower, regular, original Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics could have been disassembled by hand. He could have easily slowed them down somehow or restricted them in some way and just disassembled them by hand. It wouldn't be that hard for someone as technologically advanced as William Afton or Springtrap. Now, the reason why I say a knife as a weapon for Springtrap is because in the books, which a few of you have actually commented that I am wrong about it being a separate timeline, and instead it's the same timeline from a different perspective, a different point of view. And so if we're taking that into account, if we're taking the books into account as the actual lore to the games, because it fills in a lot of the gaps in the game's storyline. If we're actually taking the books into consideration as lore, William Afton had made a custom knife to use while he's wearing the Spring Bonnie outfit. It's mentioned in the Silver Eyes book, and I can actually pull up that page real quick. In Chapter 8, page 238 of Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes, the first book in the series, it says, and I quote, "Just when he thought he was on the brink of passing out, the pressure lifted, and Dunn gasped with relief, clutching his throat. Then he saw the knife. The rabbit held a slim silver blade. Its big, matted paws should have been too clumsy, but Dunn knew as he stared down at it that the rabbit had done this before and would easily do it again." Now, it's with this information from the books that tells us easily how he killed the kids back in the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, and how he would kill survivors in Dead by Daylight. He would use this custom knife that he could easily hold while wearing the Springtrap suit. A lot of you guys had offered the idea of Springtrap just hitting him with his hand, both because he's mechanical and would probably have the strength of the Terminator, and because like he's rusted and old and decayed, and like exposed metal fingertips could do some damage. I feel like that's great, but at the same time we have too many killers that have a scratch animation. If you think of the Hag, the Demogorgon, there are others that I'm not thinking of right now. Freddy Krueger, that's another one. There are a lot of killers that we have in Dead by Daylight that already have a sort of scratch animation, and arguably you could say that we have way more killers that have a stab or a smack animation, but I feel like the stabbing kind of suits him, especially with this information from the books. So a knife would most likely be his weapon. A lot of you guys had said that a fire axe would work, and while it would probably be a harder weapon to handle than even the hammer for Leatherface or the Hillbilly. So I feel like a knife would be more simple for Springtrap as a serial killer and a killer in Dead by Daylight. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Springtrap's ability. You guys have given me ideas through the comments, and this isn't me stealing anybody's ideas, this is just combining ideas from all of you guys into one main ability that I think sounds pretty dang good. So we have too many killers that have a stalking ability. A lot of you guys said that if we got another stalker killer, you wouldn't accept him into Dead by Daylight because we have too many. We have Michael, we have Ghostface. Like there's a lot of killers that have a stalk momentum to them, and they're kind of annoying to handle. So what I'm going to suggest instead as the new ability is the jump scare. I'm going to go into more details about the Mori in another video, but my original idea about the Mori could be his new ability. Maybe his jump scare becomes a lunge, just like how the Demogorgon Shred ability works. He could jump scare the survivor into being injured or getting scared. Similar to how the Doctor with the right add-ons, if he shocks you and zaps you, he could actually injure you. Something like that. And jump scaring the survivor would probably give them the exposed status effect. Now, that would probably be a little bit OP if you gave them the exposed status effect, but that could probably be an add-on. The original ability that I'm thinking of is him jump scaring the survivor and causing him to be injured from that. Especially considering that he's jumping right at you with a knife in his hand. That would be horrifying. What I would like also is similar to how when the Demogorgon, when he does his shred ability, he roars. Springtrap should, if he does his lunge ability, he should be able to do the jump scare sound effect from Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I think that would really work. A lot of you guys had commented that. I can't quote anybody specifically because so many of you had the same idea. And I really like the idea about the jump scare being an ability. I don't know who started that idea. There are so many comments. There's like 2,000 comments on the first video now. I am having a huge issue sorting through and trying to find out who exactly was the first to mention this stuff. So I can't really give credit. So I apologize if the ideas sound too similar. This is me kind of spitballing because like I'm not even looking at a script. This is all live. The last thing that I want to talk about is while his ability may be the jump scare, I'm going to go ahead, instead of saving it for another video, I'm going to mention it now. The Mori. What could possibly be the Mori? Springtrap, if you didn't know, back when he was William Afton, he created the sister location animatronics. And in the books, the sister location animatronics and the Twisted One animatronics had the same disc. There was a illusion disc inside of their chest that, when turned on and activated, it would release a high-pitched sound emitting to your brain. This sound would trick your brain into seeing stuff. So the animatronics in the Twisted Ones were just complete plastic. There was no features on them, while the head was slightly bear-like for Freddy or slightly fox-like for Foxy. There was nothing immediately recognizable saying, oh my gosh, that's Bonnie, or something like that. But when the disc was on, it gave your mind an illusion of what it would look like based on your image of the character. So if you had a fun sort of feel from the character, if you really liked Freddy and was never scared of Freddy, he would pop up as a very realistic Freddy Fazbear and just be very entertaining for you. Charlie's situation in the Twisted One books is because she had been traumatized in the first book. Her vision of the animatronics was twisted. They all had fangs. Bonnie had a dual jaw thing going on. Freddy had warts all over his face. It was a very interesting topic, and it was further in depth in the third book when it was revealed that Circus Baby actually had that disc in her, giving her the illusion of looking like the sign of Circus Baby. And also allowing her to disguise herself as an older Charlie. Now, the thing that needs to be very clear is that I am not changing anything about the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. I am not saying that what I'm about to say next changes anything in the games. This is just an idea for his Mori. Springtrap could be equipped with one of those illusion discs. He could be able to make himself look like something else. That would be a cool thing from the entity to bestow upon him, in my opinion. I think that would be really, really cool. Now, a lot of you guys have suggested that his Mori be the bite of 87, and that it be Fredbear or something like that biting him. And I'm going to put a little twist on that. Springtrap knocks you down on the ground. He shoves you down, and in your fear, you gasp for air. While he stands in front of you, he reaches deep into his chest through one of the cavities in the withered Bonnie suit and triggers a high-pitched sound from within. Immediately, Springtrap is gone and replaced with a golden nightmare, a monster with rows of teeth and a mouth for her stomach, as he bends down and bites your head into two. His Mori would be giving himself the illusion of Nightmare Fredbear, and then bending down and biting you like the bite of 83. Because we don't know who caused the bite of 87. A lot of you guys had confused the bite of 83 with the bite of 87 because of Markiplier's video where he was confused, where he saw the bite and immediately associated it with the bite of 87, even though the game had a lot of things going on mentioning that it was 1983. So I feel like the Mori should be the bite of 83 with Nightmare Fredbear instead of regular Fredbear, using an illusion disc that is planted inside Springtrap, bestowed upon by the entity. I'm not saying that Springtrap himself in the games has that illusion disc. I'm just saying that he, in Dead by Daylight, it would be pretty cool if he had that illusion disc. A lot of you guys also mentioned that his ability could be stealth-based, where he has the kind of cloaking ability or cloaking technology that he has from Five Nights at Freddy's Augmented Reality, where he's able to run up on you kind of invisible. And while I like that idea, at the same time, I feel like it doesn't fit him as a character to go completely invisible. I think it worked for the augmented reality thing to make it scary, but I don't think it works in terms of him being Springtrap. So one of the things that I would have suggested as just a set aside ability for him, kind of like how Pyramid Head has the Cage of Atonement, and the Demogorgon has the Shred ability. Springtrap's main ability is his lunge attack, the jump scare. His side ability is being able to stuff people in Springlock suits. As many and many and many of you have suggested in the comments, yes, I will accept that as an awesome idea for Springtrap. Instead of Pyramid Head's Cage of Atonement, you would be going into one of Springtrap's many Springlock suits, and I would find that extremely cool, just like an overall entertaining thing. Now, what I would also say that a hidden ability would be for Springtrap is his ability to hide in lockers. Springtrap as an animatronic is a little bit taller than the average man, but that does not mean that he isn't human and can't hide in a massive locker like the ones that are in there. So I feel like Springtrap, if you wanted to give him a stealth ability, should be able to hide inside of the lockers. Now, that would be extremely hard and probably never be used, unless, of course, you're camping and, like, you have a survivor in the basement and someone's trying to run and get them from the basement. You could be hiding in a locker. That would probably be used a lot. But besides that, I don't think there'd be any use for that hidden ability. Which is why it's probably a good idea not to use that. But I just thought it'd be a really cool idea to suggest that he could hide in those lockers. Now, as for the main stuff that we covered in this video, just as a review, we covered his weapon will be, most likely, a long silver custom knife that is held by the Springtrap suit. We have covered his new ability, which is a jump scare lunge attack, followed with the possible custom Cage of Atonement being the Springlock suits. And we have mentioned who Springtrap is, so that way people could stop ripping on me in the comments saying he's not this or he is this. He is William Afton, and Michael Afton is a separate person. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you all for the support on the videos. I cannot believe, looking back on that first video, that video would have gotten 62,000 views by the time of this recording. It is insane how much you guys are supporting this and supporting me, and I love you guys for it. I want to hear your guys' opinions on this stuff. I want to know more about your opinions on Dead by Daylight with Springtrap and that kind of stuff. You guys just have overall the best ideas I've seen in the comments. And my next video will probably recover Eskimo Art's comment, because in the last video I had mentioned his perks, and a lot of you had kind of ripped on the second perk, saying it was a Leatherface perk, just a little bit more OP. And he made a rework. He made a rework of the perk to make it more of its own thing and its own custom thing. And I have that comment pinned. I have that comment saved if you want to go see that before I make a video about it. But I will make a video recovering that topic, just so that way you guys are caught in the loop as to the different possibilities of Springtrap and Dead by Daylight and what we could possibly see. I just think it'd be really, really cool to see Springtrap and Dead by Daylight. And I love your guys' reactions to all my ideas, especially when it comes down to just simple stuff, like how he would fit into Dead by Daylight lore-wise and how he would fit as a killer. I love your guys' support on that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you really enjoyed this video and all my other Springtrap videos before it, please leave a like and subscribe down below. Always hit that notification bell to get notified every time a Springtrap video comes out, as well as other videos, because this channel is a little bit more than just Springtrap and Dead by Daylight. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro and outro, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!